You know that feeling, where nothing is really wrong, but nothing feels right either. You're not broke, you're not failing, you've got a job, a routine, a roof over your head. But somewhere between the alarm and the pillow, you lost something, and you can't even name what it is. You just know something's off, and you've known for a while. We were all told the same story. Work hard, get a stable job, build a routine, save up. So that's what we did. Went to school, graduated, got the job, got the paycheck, rest on weekends, back to work on Monday. Everyone lives like this, so it must be right. But honestly, it's not bad. You can't really call yourself unhappy when you've got things going for you. But you can't call yourself happy either. It's just fine, comfortably fine. But here's the thing, that comfortably fine is the problem. Psychologist Daniel Gilbert found something interesting. He calls it the region beta paradox. Basically, when things are truly terrible, people act fast, they have to. But when things are just kind of uncomfortable, you can handle it. So you stay. You tell yourself tomorrow will be better. But that tomorrow never comes. The reason comfortably fine traps you longer than rock bottom is because your brain never sounds the alarm. It's not bad enough. And there's another layer to this. Your brain doesn't just avoid change, it actively fights it. Daniel Kahneman called it status-quo bias. Your brain doesn't see change as gaining something new. It sees it as losing what you already have. Letting go of what you've got feels way bigger than anything you might get. Your brain literally treats the unknown as a threat to your survival. So even when you logically know you should leave, your body won't move. This isn't about willpower. Your brain is wired this way. So you stay. 1 month, 1 year, 5 years. It's like putting a frog in water and raising the temperature so slowly it never jumps out. It doesn't notice it's getting hotter. We're the same. We're getting a little more exhausted every day. But today looks so much like yesterday that we don't even see it. That's the golden cage. From the outside, you've got everything. The paycheck, the stability, the routine. But on the inside, you're slowly falling apart. And the scariest part? The door was never locked. It's been open this whole time. You just stayed because leaving felt scarier than staying. Ziggy knew this feeling. He got promoted, bigger salary. That's a good thing, right? So he moved to a nicer place, got a better car, added more subscriptions. But to afford all that, he had to work more. Overtime piled up, weekends got shorter, and a month later, he felt exactly the same as before the promotion. It's like a treadmill. No matter how fast you run, you're in the same spot. Your income goes up, but your expectations go up with it. Satisfaction always resets back to zero. Ziggy was just running faster. There was never a finish line. So why didn't he stop? Because stopping means sitting still, and sitting still means facing what's actually going on inside. And we're terrified of that. In 2014, researchers put people in an empty room. No phone, no distractions, just sit there for 15 minutes alone with your thoughts. That's it. But there was a button in the room. Press it and you get an electric shock. 2 out of 3 men chose the shock. Being alone with their own thoughts was worse than physical pain.
That's what we're doing every single day. Facing the real problem is so uncomfortable that we choose familiar pain instead. Hit play on the next episode, scroll through Instagram, pretend to be busy. Those are all just electric shock buttons. They're less scary than sitting still and asking yourself, am I actually happy? But you can change it. If your brain likes what's familiar, flip that around. Once something new becomes familiar, your brain will like that too. So you don't have to smash the cage all at once. You just have to bend 1 bar. 1 a day. That's it. We call this 1 cage bar. Something genuinely small. If you get the same coffee at the same place every morning, go somewhere different tomorrow. If you take the same route to work every day, take 1 extra block. It's not going to change your life overnight, but something will feel different, just a little. That just a little is the beginning. When you do something new, your brain builds a new pathway. At first, it's narrow and awkward, but repeat it and that pathway gets stronger. The reason your current routine feels like a highway is because you've driven it thousands of times. A new path works the same way. It just needs reps. There's one thing you should know. It might feel worse at first. That's normal. When a button you've been pressing every day suddenly stops working, your brain slams it harder. Hey, this used to work. Why isn't it working? That voice telling you just go back to how things were, that's not you breaking, that's your brain rewiring. If you push through that moment, the new starts to feel familiar, and familiar is where your brain relaxes. 1 bar, 1 day, that's enough. But bending a bar isn't just about changing your route or your coffee order. It's also about changing how you see your time. Try this tonight. Figure out your hourly wage. Take your salary, divide it by the hours you actually work, then pick the 3 biggest things you spent money on last month and convert them from dollars to hours. Thoreau said this 170 years ago. The cost of a thing is the amount of life which is required to be exchanged for it. A $200 pair of sneakers at $25 an hour, that's 8 hours, a full day of your life. $1,800 rent? 72 hours, almost 2 straight days of work just to pay for a roof. When you see the numbers in hours instead of dollars, it hits different. The question, is this worth my time, starts asking itself. And once you start seeing your time clearly, there's one more question worth asking. Before you fall asleep tonight, ask yourself this: did I do anything today because I wanted to, or was all of it because I had to? We call this the cage question. It's not complicated, it's one question, but if you ask it every night, you start to see whether you're inside the cage or outside of it. The first few days, the answer might be all of it was because I had to. That's uncomfortable, but that discomfort moves something. About a week, you might find yourself doing something, even just 30 minutes, because you actually wanted to, not because you planned it, because the question planted itself in your brain. You're not going to break the cage in one day, and you don't have to. Bend 1 bar. See where your time is going. Ask yourself one question before bed. That's the start. A nurse named Bronnie Ware spent years with people at the end of their lives. One of the most common regrets she heard was this: I wish I hadn't worked so hard. The thing people regret on their last day, you just learned about it today. What would you do differently? That question from 170 years ago still hits. What are you exchanging your life for? You don't have to answer that tonight, but before you fall asleep, ask yourself the cage question, just once. Sources and further reading are in the description below.